Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. As Sister Wives Season 19 draws to a close, one thing becomes brutally clear. Robyn Brown appears to be largely to blame for the Brown family's difficulties in recovering. The season had two particularly poignant moments. Robyn was the last woman remaining in what had been a joint marriage arrangement in the first when Meri, Janelle, and Christine all departed Kody Brown. His several marriages ended as a result. The tone was more melancholy in the second portion, which discussed the family's sadness following the suicide of Janelle and Kody's son, Garrison Brown, in March 2024. But it was the four-part tell-all that truly revealed the depth of the fissures and how Robyn continues to exacerbate the wounds, whether on purpose or accidentally. Lack of knowledge on the specific subject, host Sukanya Suki Krishnan asked Robyn the question that has been bothering her for years during the tell-all. Does Robyn think that Kody favors her? Both admirers and family members comprehend the response. Because Kody gave Robyn preferential treatment, the family eventually fell apart due to the hostility that resulted. Still, Robyn? She denied it. Again. What was her humiliating response when Janelle called her Kody's sacred cow? Moo, I don't know. I don't care in any case. That disregard for valid concerns, problems that Kody's former marriages and even his children have repeatedly raised, feels tone-deaf at best and incredibly damaging at worst. Robyn's refusal to acknowledge the truth of the relationship further isolates her and prevents any real healing between Kody and the other members of the family. Real closure is uncertain until Robyn stops being evasive and accepts responsibility for the consequences of her presence and her connection with Kody, since the seasons have shown that ownership is essential for healing. The illusion of family restoration. Robyn's persistent belief that Kody's broken connections can be repaired in some way is another trend that has grown increasingly annoying. Despite everything that has happened, Robyn still maintains the hope that a full family reunion is still possible, which not only clings to hope but also draws Kody into her delusion. By encouraging him to keep getting in touch with wives who have clearly moved on, Robyn creates a vicious cycle that prevents him from progressing. This story no longer serves the OG3 and the children who are trying to find peace after all of the division, and it doesn't help that Kody still seems to be paying attention to what Robyn says. A history rewritten in real time. Long before Robyn entered the picture, the Brown family was a cohesive, if complex, polygamous home. Yet, her presence marked a clear shift in dynamics and direction. Furthermore, Robyn avoided or responded to the tell-all's requests for precise replies with vague, evasive remarks. She was also not held accountable for her role in the unraveling. That silence says a lot. It has become a barrier that keeps her from ever getting back together with Kody's ex-wives or his children, many of whom have voiced their displeasure, if not open anger, at Robyn and Kody's actions before and after the family's dissolution. Luxurious lifestyles, and a decline in trust. Then there's the issue of money, which causes constant hostility in the family. When the family invested in the Coyote Pass property in a last-ditch effort to maintain the polygamous dream, Robyn and Kody claimed the greatest share. They later upgraded their home with amenities including a heated driveway. They currently reside in a 7,884 square foot estate in Flagstaff, Arizona, which cost $2.1 million. The OG3 and their kids, in particular, were left out of the luxury and left wondering how and for whom the shared monies had been used, so they watched this from the sidelines. They also didn't keep their concerns to themselves. Michael T. and Gwen Brown, among others, have publicly questioned Robyn and Kody's expenditures, pointing out a stark difference between their current lifestyle and the way the family used to operate when unity was crucial. While the other Browns settled for dolls, expensive clothes, and extravagant purchases, Robyn and Kody built a fortress on the ruins of a fantasy they had all shared. The bottom line. The dissolution of the Brown family may not have been entirely Robyn Brown's fault, but she is most definitely not helping to rebuild it. Because of her refusal to acknowledge her own bias, her persistent demands for a romantic reunion, her evasiveness in interviews, and her role in the couple's lavish spending, she has come to symbolize everything that went wrong. Additionally, until Robyn quits pretending that the pain isn't real, Sister Wives will remain more than just a program about a fractured family. It will be a continuous case study of how denial can destroy even the strongest of bonds. Kody Brown did not share Meri Brown's wish for a spiritual divorce. Even though Janelle and Christine felt they didn't need to divorce Kody since their marriage was never legal, Meri asked their church for an official separation or release in late 2022. Each of us 4 ladies married Kody through our church. She clarified in the September 22nd episode that we can't all be legally married, but it was what we called a covenant. Since we have no plans to get married, I think it would be best for me to break up with him since I don't want to be sealed to him forever if he doesn't want me. And I'm at the point where I think we should simply put this out of our minds entirely. Because he did not want to acknowledge the authority of the church officials, she continued, Kody was against the idea. Kody remarked, the harm was done so badly that we're not going to reconcile no matter what, referring to his perspective. But since we are held accountable to God, I don't want to be held accountable to this church and all its bullshit. Since it will turn into a quarrel if I become upset with Meri, I'm going to let her go and do what she wants to do. And it took her a long time to comprehend that it had been done and over for years, so I just needed her to leave. A large number of Kody Brown's kids don't talk to each other. A text message argument concerning a 2021 holiday gift exchange turned particularly bitter for the 18 Brown children. It all went bad, it all went south, Christine explained, with Kody and Robyn and their children on one side, and wanting nothing to do with Janelle, me, or our children. And following this text thread, there was a division. But it was never anything about, we don't want to see you again, we don't want anything to do with you, Robyn insisted, adding that her 3 older children thought the conversation was emotionally unsafe and suggested that they cut ties with the relationship. It was just about like, hey, this got yucky. For his part, Gabriel hopes they can find each other once more. He acknowledged on the October 13th episode, the thing I want most is to just have a relationship with Robyn's children again. My favorite person to hang out with in middle school was Aurora. And I was constantly trying to get close to Dayton in high school. However, I'm not optimistic about a relationship with Robyn and Dad. I have been told directly, multiple circumstances by multiple different people, that I was not accepted. Aurora's mother said after marrying Kody in 2010, adding that I was not their sister, and that they did not think or perceive me that way. Her sister Brianna also said that the parents could have done a better job with, connecting us as a family, and it never really happened. Robyn Brown's children never felt like they belonged to the family. But how they might have extended their embrace is a mystery to Christine. She made sure that Robyn and Robyn's children were invited to everything. I would just say, just come into the house anytime you want. She added that Michael T. Brown Padron lived with Robyn's children for a while and that her daughter Isabel Brown was very close to Robyn's children. There were hard times and my kids were frustrated, but they always consider Robyn's kids their siblings, just the same. Janelle Brown would remarry, but Kody Brown would not. When it's working properly, you have this amazing family unit that you're part of, a community that you're plugged into, she said, taking aim at the independence she gained from her numerous marriages. You have everything you need, including a wonderful connection with your spouse. After that, I am completely independent. Kody would never again say, I do, to polygamy, but multiple marriage looked like a great arrangement to him. Polygamy kills emotional intimacy, he stated in the episode that aired on December 1st. It makes everybody defensive, and I really want an emotionally vulnerable, intimate relationship with a woman, and you're not going to get that in polygamy. Kody Brown started to separate from Janelle Brown years ago. After the family relocated from Las Vegas to Arizona in 2018, Janelle claims that Kody found it more difficult to separate his feelings. She stated on the September 29th show that Kody found it a lot easier to be away when he moved to Flagstaff. She also disclosed that he would attempt to grovel because he was exhausted, stating, I'm really tired. The thought crossed my mind, well, you can rest at my house just as much as you can rest at Robyn's house. The kids of Janelle Brown and Christine Brown Woolley didn't like going to Robyn Brown's house, so I had to remind him a couple of times that he needed to come to my house. Janelle explained this separateness her brood felt with Robyn, adding, "My children were scolded if they would open up Robyn's fridge." The issue with Christine's kids, however, was that they saw that Robyn and their dad were a couple and he wasn't in our home. Her staff knew about the division, Robyn added. On the September 29th episode, she said, "Meri was very accepting of my kids and I overall, but the rest of the family really struggled to accept my kids and I. All we wanted to do was be a part of this family." Gabriel, meanwhile, would argue that he and his siblings actively sought to include them. "I think that Robyn definitely has a victim complex," he said in the October 13th episode. "I mean, to put it bluntly. And I don't necessarily blame her for that. I think that different people do, devise different strategies to keep themselves afloat." However, he continued, "If she actually believes that we were mistreating her or her children in any way when she was constantly getting favorited by dad, and we were always working on our relationship with her kids, if she actually believes that, then there's no chance of me having a relationship with Robyn ever again." Robyn and Kody Brown's parenting methods were questioned by Janelle Brown. Having their dad move between 4 different homes did affect their 18 children, as Kody explained in the September 29th episode when he and Robyn's youngest child, Ariella, who was born in January 2016, clung to his leg as he attempted to leave. "I have other children that need to see me, so I had to tell her, there is another wife who needs me, another mommy," Kody remarked. "And she's just dragging along on my legs screaming, 'Don't leave me, Daddy, don't leave me.' And I'm like, golly man, this is hard." Unfortunately, Janelle emphasized, that's just a reality of plural marriage. From the very beginning, she stated, the children knew that their dad was not going to always be there. "I've always thought that Kody and Robyn handled her children's situation poorly. He couldn't be away for more than 3 or 4 days because Ari just gets so sad or whatever." I'm like, I feel like that was poor parenting. Through all history of the family, the other kids did it, and they're fine. They're well-adjusted adults. The relationship between Robyn Brown and Mykelti Padron was intimate. Mykelti, a mother of 3 and one of the few Brown children still close to Robyn and Kody, along with Christine and Janelle, served as a peacekeeper during Kody's divorces. Since Mykelti first joined the Brown family, Robyn and she have been close, and in November 2022, Robyn was even asked to attend the birth of her twins, Archer and Ace. "I was trying to figure out who I was when Robyn first joined the family, and she made me feel special, and she made me feel seen," Mykelti stated on the September 29th episode. "Robyn was there for me when I needed somebody. She was there for me when I needed somebody to hear me, to love me." Christine, her mother, was also overjoyed. Christine commented on the episode of October 6th, "It was everything that I hoped for when Robyn entered the family, and it was clear that she and Mykelti had a great relationship. When I was so excited about having a plural family, I was hoping that my kids would have a great relationship with other moms." According to reports, one of Kody Brown's children was brainwashed. Kody feels that more than just his wife removed him from their lives. In the October 6th episodes, he spoke up about his distance from some of his older children, saying, "I am only guilty of not falling madly in love with their mothers. They're purposely leaving me out of their lives to punish me for a crime I did not commit." He also stated that he thinks his ex-spouses bear some of the blame. "This disparity in relationship with my children is specifically in my mind because of SD talk," he said. "There's this whirlwind of disappointment from the family breaking up or whatever, and it's like, well, blame Dad. Dad screwed up." He finds the name-calling disrespectful, even though he shares some of the blame. Kody revealed that he was having problems relating to Hunter, Maddie, and Gabriel. He also revealed that one of his kids responded to a text message saying, "You are a piece of trash. In any case, I would never speak to you again." In another occasion, he told cameras, "I've had one of my kids just say, 'You're an a-hole. I'm never talking to you again. You manipulated me and you brainwashed me.'" He also doesn't want to cope with that poison. "I'm not going to reach out forever," he said, adding that he feels his grown children should be doing more to put things right. "I'm willing to make the effort, but somebody else is going to have to be on the other end of that and make some effort too." Robyn Brown struggled to respect Kody Brown as a mom. Robyn was deeply hurt by Kody's estrangement from his adult children. "My parents got divorced when I was tiny," she said on the October 6th episode. "He lived with one wife in another city, and then my mom lived alone. I remember asking my biological father, 'What happened?'
Why?
He merely offered a series of weak justifications for his lack of support during my formative years, and it was awful." During their furious on-camera fight in late 2022, she said, "I'm having a hard time feeling like losing respect for you a little bit." She was determined not to allow Kody's hurt sentiments stop him from trying. Kody acknowledged that he might be doing more to strengthen his bond with his kids, but he maintained that he needed to mend his heart first. He claimed that some of his kids were colluding against me, saying, "I'm so upset about what occurred that I'm afraid they'll accuse me if I talk to my kids. I'm too impulsive at the moment. I'll only cause more harm." For years, Kody Brown did not see his grandchildren. Much of the family was there when Logan, Janelle and Kody's eldest son, married his now-wife Michelle Petty in October 2022, but they weren't feeling the love. "You saw Madison take her kids and scuttle them away from me," Kody blasted Robyn on the October 6th episode, pointing out that his daughter had not told him she was expecting her third child, Josephine, who was born in February 2023. "Really? Maddie doesn't have any contact with him," Janelle explained when asked why her daughter ignored Kody at the wedding, adding that Maddie doesn't tell her dad much because they don't chat much. "She is very protective of her children. Since Evie was born and Evie was 3.5 years old, Kody has not been present. Additionally, she didn't want him to simply walk in and say, 'Oh, I'm your grandpa,' to which they would respond, 'What? Who is this man? What does Kody think?' He said, 'It's unrealistic expectation for grandparents to be in their grandchildren's lives all the time, especially if you move your children to an entirely different coast. I have a job and a life in Flagstaff.'" This statement was directed at Maddie's life in North Carolina. Kody Brown asked his kids to apologize to Robyn Brown. Kody's insistence on some sort of mea culpa is one persistent problem, despite the fact that it's clear that he and his adult children have very different opinions on their ongoing separation. After the COVID scare was over and we all went back to our normal lives, we still couldn't reconcile as a family because Kody felt like the boys needed to give an apology to him and to Robyn, especially to Robyn, Janelle recounted in the October 13th video. "And after it sort of morphed into this, well, they just need to come and talk to me." Janelle went on to say, "And the most precious person in this family who's given her heart and soul has been disrespected or some bull's tea like that." And she said, "And I'm like, whatever, Kody." Kody's issue, she said, was that he thought his children had betrayed him. The same was true for Gabriel, who shared with Janelle a conversation he had with his father. "He kept phrasing it like I owed him an apology," he said, "and finally I was just like, hey, unless you're actually ready to have a relationship and fix things, then we're not going to talk anymore." A few days later, he texted me, saying, "Hey, I've been looking at what you've been saying." I replied, "I forgive you. Please forgive me." Kody Brown only sees one of Janelle Brown's children. During the October 13th episode, Janelle discussed Kody's relationship with his youngest of the 6 children he shares with her. "It's not frequently, but every couple months he'll call, and they'll go out," she said. "The rest of the kids don't really have much of any kind of connection with him." According to Savannah, who completed high school in 2023, her 4 elder brothers have taken on the role of a father figure. In fact, the girl has told Janelle that she wants her siblings to marry her. "He's going to be kind of that dad who shows up and we have a lot of fun and then he's gone," Janelle said. "I can meet him wherever I want. I've talked to Savannah about it and she's like, look, I just have come to realize that this is who he is. It's okay." But Janelle doesn't understand. "I've dealt with a lot of divorced women over the years and the father just vanishes with the kids. Look, I've seen this happen," she said, "and I'm just so frustrated with Kody. I wouldn't mind seeing my father, Kody Brown, ever again," Gabriel Brown said. Gabriel took it very hard because Kody was someone who would take Gabriel with him on business trips, Janelle stated at the beginning of their father-son argument. In the October 13th episode, Gabriel said, I told Dad that if he doesn't change and he can't take accountability, then I just won't ever see him again, despite his bewilderment about what he did to anger his father. Until lately, Kody was a totally engaged father. And I'm perfectly okay with that. That's what I hope for all of my kids, and I think they're all coming, Janelle remarked. He's at peace that his dad is not in his life. For his part, Kody appeared to be embracing the situation. But that didn't mean I didn't try. He admitted in a confessional, "I've tried to reach out to Gabriel several times but have been turned down. I'm really sorry that he feels that way."